Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of The Witcher 3. Something has attacked Priscilla, and we're gonna find out what that something is with this doctor here as we make our way through the sewers, to the morgue, to... let's see. To investigate the body of the last victim.
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Insolent fool!
What weapon? What weapon? It's like a crossbow? Is that really what he's got? What level are these guys? A little too high. So apparently the doctor comes down here and kills the drowners as much as he can. Let's see, I believe if we... Nope. There's nothing here. Looked like there might be something there. Ooh! Level spec 17 bog head. Ooh, that is not good. We're getting closer and closer to our level. Have fights in the middle of a stairwell.
How's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to her troberids. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count.
So her voice is probably going to be destroyed forever. She'll have to become a mute playwright or doting wife to Dandelion. Let's see. Come over here. Haven't become over encumbered in a while. I bet I am going to be pretty soon. I haven't sold anything or gotten rid of anything in a long time.
Take the ladder. This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pasteur. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
Alright. Is this where he's going? Here's the corpse.
Looks like necrophages got to this one. Human. Wrong body type. Let's keep looking.
Opportunities to loot. Are plenty. Let's see. Do we want to be interrupted, or do we want to get this done smooth and quick?
That's gotta be him.
This one's a she. Remember, beards are no indicator of gender amongst dwarves.
A dwarf, but the hands. Not a carpenter's. A banker's, more likely. Calluses on the fingers, Sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood.
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes. And some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
What kind of black magic is this?
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
Yeah, but why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Interesting.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
He has an arrow through his hand. Glitchy game. This is why you pre-render your graphics. Look at this guy. He's just got an arrow through his hand.
An egg from an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Open up his abdomen.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded.
So this guy is like doing some kind of formaldehyde autopsy.
Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. Right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
And a different sense of humor.
Okay, so we have this last part, which may end up causing me to edit some stuff. I said I was gonna stop complaining about this, but I guess I have to go for it. if I don't do it and just say, alright, I know enough, uh, I'll probably be worse off in the game. So we may take a little bit of a break between here and edit this section out. Let's see. Maybe, maybe not. Depends what they're gonna show.
His genitals. We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
Oh, it's even double checking it. Oh man.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
Okay, so we didn't have to edit anything. I know enough now.
Alright. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
Let's see. So, we're cutting out the heart and burning the things. We are... Was this a punishment? I don't know. Burning out your eyes and cutting out the heart. The murderer's mad. I think it's a ritual murder, I would say. I'd rather not share my conclusion, actually, because I don't have enough evidence.
Sorry. Rather not share my conclusions just yet.
I understand. For the good of the investigation. Will you at least share what you intend to do?
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted. Drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Still got the arrow
speak.
through his hand.
But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
You old friends?
Hubert taught me the rudiments of medicine. Long ago.
And not very well. You've still not mastered certain basic principles. For example, that a doctor's role is to treat the ill, not save the world.
You've not changed a bit.
A compliment?
No, a statement of fact. 30 years, and you've not changed a bit.
That guy is like 50 years old.
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirates was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, Your Reverence.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As Your Reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Why do you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Nathaniel. Who is he?
A scoundrel. A rogue. like every man who wears the robes of the Eternal Fire.
Most are scoundrels before they ever put on the robes.
True in his case as well. Before he donned the frock, Nathaniel was a torturer, delighted especially in torturing women. Later, Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple guard, supervises cremations, conducts funeral masses in the temple on the Isle, and so forth.
Dream job.
And the only
Could have
reason
told me
this
another
isn't
corner. We could have skipped the trip through
pre-rendered
the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
is because I would be wearing different clothes and have a different haircut and a different shave and have different swords based on what I picked. But is that trade-off really worth it when you have ridiculous bugs in nearly every playthrough where I played a game with an engine like this? You run into all these bugs. Nearly every game you run into a lot of them. Not even just like one for as long as these games are. It's not too many. They're never really game breaking, but is it really worth it to be able to see the clothes you picked when you really don't need to? I need more information, so I want him to talk.
I decide when we're done with this subject. What's your connection to him?
An old story, but if you insist. The student protests in 1242, you've heard of them? I led them. Hubert, however, denounced me to the authorities. I landed in prison. There you have it. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
Starving him this evening, though. They eat
Should
this.
also get that arrow treated. So let's get back to the quest. Where is it? Here we go. Carnal Sins is the name of it. Level 16 quest. Here's one location to check out.
Bloody bandits! Can't go out in the streets no more!
At least the father didn't used to kill women.
Fall afoul of the king of beggars, and you'll get no mercy no matter who you are.
Gods.
Political.
What happened here? Monsters must have
Lost
been
even
Okay, there's a whole bunch of dead bodies.
Let's stay over. That sort of talk, you know.
And
Knife wounds.
we're looking for
Bandits drop them. Raiders.
the corpse collector, which here he is.
You Eustace, the corpse collector?
Aye? How'd you know?
Fourth sense, I think it is. You bring Fabian Meyer's body to the morgue.
Fabian. Oh, yeah, I remember. No ice, no art, one of them, right? No purse neither, as I recall.
One of them? So there have been other bodies like that?
Sure have. Beggars, street urchins, and street walkers. One went so portly, I had to cut her into pieces to fit her in me wheelbarrow. Slippery sow, they called her, on account of her.
Some things are best left unsaid. What happened to the pieces?
What do you mean? Reverend Nathaniel ordered them burned. Every last one. Oh, shame that was.
Shame? Why? Actually, never mind. Another thing that's best left unsaid.
So maybe Reverend
You searched
Nathaniel's
Fabian's
doing the
body.
killing.
Whoa. Cost an eye in his pockets. Made sure nothing went to waste.
I call a spade a spade. You rob corpses.
And I call a prick a prick. It's none of your fucking concern. What, you tax collector? Piss off, mutant.
Talk. What did you find on him?
As you wish. Triflings, baubles, glass-beaded ring, handful of coins, and a letter. Look, vellum, quality parchment that. I'll wipe off the writing and sell it as new.
That's human skin. Priscilla. Next victim's name. If you'd given this to the right person, she might not have been hurt.
What the fuck do I care what happens to some Priscilla? We short of wenches in this town.
Bam.
Oi, fucking hell! What was that for?
For everything.
I think that was a fair and balanced response. Didn't kill him. I thought about killing him.
Strange.
Let's see. So, written on human skin is... Did we get that? No, I don't think we did. If we did, it's a quest item. And I'm not seeing it. It seems like some kind of ritual killing, but it also seems like some kind of torturing
Oh, he's a war veteran.
experimentation. But if he's going after specific people, is there a reason? Examine the wood carver. Well, it's not this house. Is it? Really? Is this the house that... I mean... No, it doesn't seem like that's right. Seems like it's one over. Which means I need to run around.
What's your hair lately?
Which... Wash my hair lately. Actually no, I haven't had a haircut or a shave in quite a while. Let's see, wood carver. Let's see. How does one get in this house? It's like you can't jump up on the roof.
Nice results you got there.
Maybe you have to come this way and then down the alley. Yep. Wasn't this a pathway? Well, this is awful. I could have sworn this was a pathway before. And now it's closed? I can't even see through it. A standing long jump of mine.
I've worked up quite the appetite.
Let's see. Gee, I'm just getting further and further away.
Whoa!
Excuse me, ma'am.
Holy moly.
He's got swords in his back. Never picks his teeth.
Goodness.
How many different ways? This is like Triss Marigold's house. We never even got in here. I don't think. This was, I believe, her original house before she got ran off. Yeah, and there's nothing here. All these things are so close to each other, but they're all so...
What am I to do now?
Where am I? I am like way, way off. Really, really way far from. Just to be able to go this way, and from this way I can now try and follow this path. To try and get closer to the location. And we're back here. Makes no sense. It's on the other side of this wall. This is just the way up here.
Yes.
I mean,
Come to toss me out again? I've been behaving. Haven't...
yeah, there's nothing there. I don't think there's anything downstairs. Gosh, I mean, this is just awful. It's just bloody awful. We can walk around this building and we cannot find a way in.
Oh!
Is this a doorway? No, not even a doorway.
I've had enough of living.
Nice, you gotta take risks.
And I come back this way. Is this it? This is the rat's location. It's nowhere close. We're taking a tour around the entire freaking map. There's so much right next to each other. And yet, when it comes to actually getting where you want to go, it seems impossible. Is this a bug? Let's see, can I get on this building? Witcher senses. Can I get on this fence? Alright. Well, that would get me a little bit higher. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. They can't possibly be what they want. Do any of these doors work? Nope. What's the deal? Why is this closed off? It wasn't closed off before. Examine the place where the woodcarver died. Let's see. This is so frustrating. I'm gonna have to give up. I am going to have to give up if I cannot figure something out here.
So, how you go with this thing? I was laughing a bit out minding my own business when suddenly up he pops and heals me. Had a profitable case of leprosy 1 minute, next thing I know I'm bankrupt, with no means to earn my livelihood.
Better like that.
It makes no sense.
My way.
Is this it?
Anyone home?
Oh,
Be gone, or I'll set me hounds on you. Molly, Striga, come!
Relax. I'm here about Fabian Meyer, looking for his killer.
That's altogether different. Sit your stupid mutts, lie down. Go on then. Slowly now, listen to me.
wow. They just wanted us to go through the door. So they blocked off every other way and then made it very difficult to figure out where you were supposed to go. If you're going to want us to approach from one direction, you need an arrow pointing directly at that direction and not just a circle.
Charming as beasts go.
You daft? Even I'm scared of them. A better barking dog than an evil man at your door.
Got someone particular in mind?
Sure as shite. Bugger who did Fabian in. As soon as they'd hauled his corpse off, I run to a mate who raises fighting dogs. Bought these 2 mutts. Cost me a chunk of change. But I sleep sound at least.
So who might you be?
The Stiff's brother. Gus is the name. We ran a workshop together. Meyer and Meyer.
What'll it be now? Just Meyer?
Name it. I'll be closing it down now. As soon as I find a buyer for this shack, I'll head on to Mahakam. Be near my family, or what's left of it. So, what do you want to know? What can I tell you about Fabian?
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
'Twas Fabian who threatened this one last. Oh, you were a good dwarf, craftsman like no other. But you were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever we put a bit of coin aside, I'd say, let's buy some tools, quality timber. No, he grabbed the purse and head out whoring. Took to following one in particular. He'd say, "'Tis all your fault, dirty bitch, human dish rag." And other obscenities. Don't rightly know what that was about. Maybe he was in love with her.
Know where I can find her? This dish rag?
City cemetery. She died a few days back, quietly in her sleep. A pawn said that fever took her.
Tell me what you know about the murder, in order, in detail.
It was like this. Had some work in Oxenford, and I was coming home. Saw a plume of smoke rising over the city. Thought to myself, blast it, gonna miss him burn another hag. But the smoke wasn't coming from Hierarch Square. It was coming from here. See the soot stains? That's where they burned our sculptures. Folk gathered round the blaze, and found Fabian here beside it. They'd already loaded him on the cart by the time I arrived.
Talk to your neighbors. They see anything suspicious beforehand? Hear anything?
Claimed not to. But even if they had, they'd not have helped. In Novigrad, folk give bleeding orphans in the street a wide berth so as not to stain their poor lanes. They're killing of some dwarf.
So,
Fine. We've talked enough. Need to look around.
Be my guest. Just beware of the dogs.
this is weird. They are doing a real good job here of giving us 3 different stories.
Statues of the old gods. Nothing but women. Shapely ones.
It could be that there's a madman just killing random people. It could be somebody's killing them because they are worshipping the old gods. It could be he's punishing people in the line that gave him syphilis. Let's see. So there's like, that's 3 right there. Concerned Citizens Sermon. Can't loot anymore. Just jump over the wood. Drag marks.
Murderer dragged something heavy, dragged something across the floor. Statues, or dragged it from one corpse to the other, repeatedly.
It seems like I examined 2 things at
That's
once.
where Fabian lay when they found him.
Let's check in here.
Mind if I go inside the workshop?
I've not even peeked inside since they found Fabian. But I'll open it for you if you want.
He'll open it for me, then knock me out of the way. So I'm gonna rob this poor victim. What's this? Come on, examine.
Eyes. Humanoid. Completely rotten.
Maybe the brother did it. Just wanted to kill his... That wouldn't explain
Furniture
any of
got
the other
knocked
murders.
over. This looks like it was kicked.
So this was the scene. He kicked the chair. He was murdered here. We knew that. Let's see. Some blood stains
More
here.
blood stains, but not near enough to say he bled to death. Unless somebody got rid of the blood. Left a few stains behind.
I won't bother to loot that. What's this?
Formaldehyde. Doubt Fabian used it. Nothing here.
Let's talk to him.
Aye.
Had a look at your sculptures.
And? Lifelike, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. The women especially. Never seen a bust that size on Melitele.
Oh, aye. Fabian's handiwork. I told him, brother, tits like that would crush her back. Whittle him down. He said, nay, they'd sell better this way. Told me to shut me trap. And sell they did. Till one sermon at the temple, when the celebrating reverend said that whoso buys idols from the non-human Myers sins twofold, as a heretic and as a lecher. That was the end of that.
How do you know exactly what happened?
Already know what happened. Fabian was in the workshop. Murderer attacked him there. They struggled. Fabian was overpowered, then tortured. For a time.
I needn't know the details. Truth be told, I hadn't the stomach for him.
When it was over, the murderer dragged Fabian to the courtyard, then made a pyre of sculptures, set them aflame.
But why? Why do all that?
To teach a lesson. To him, you, the whole city. Fine, we've talked enough. Won't learn anything else here. Take care.
Maybe twice now in this game it has probably been better for me to not give details on how the murders go. but I do it anyway. Honestly, I think people would wonder. They want to know, they just can't bring themselves to say they want to know. Investigate the alleyway where Priscilla was attacked is our next goal, and let us hope it is nowhere as difficult to get to as...
Oi, Witcher! Coroner wants to see you. Been another victim. Told me to say the main door will be open for you. You're to come as soon as you can. Ah!
And then you'll walk right into me.
Hey, handsome.
Formaldehyde.
I know that smell. Formaldehyde.
Some more garbage.
Human. Priscilla's. A brazier. This time of year?
Sis, that him.
How am I to know? Watch him, see what he does.
Together now. Kill the horse. You're carrion.
Really? This guy's just gonna... What's this all about? I think there's been a misunderstanding. Since he's stuck in a wall.
Think you'll get me too, huh? Up your ass, deviant! Hoes can fight back!
Calm down, I'm not gonna hurt you. What are you doing here?
Getting vengeance. Well, why are you staring? Have you not heard killers always return to the scene of their crime? Me and my brothers are waiting here to give him a warm welcome. For Priscilla. Almost did her in, the whole son.
I know. Here to look for clues and find anyone who might know something.
Fear I can't help you much. But I can tell you what I know.
You and Priscilla friends?
Friends? Nah. But she saw more than a stupid whore in me. Treated me with respect. It mattered. I was looking to give up whoring. Pick up a decent trade. But none would take me. Not as a washerwoman, nor a servant, nor a cook. Felt like a leper, I did. But Priscilla, she was different. Agreed to put me in her play, you see? Lots of the other actors, they were afraid on account of her jesting about the eternal fire. Whistling Wendy on stage, can you imagine it? Well, dream's gone now. I'm back to working street corners.
Sorry to hear that.
You could do worse as work goes. Or so I tell myself.
Priscilla wasn't the sole victim. You aware of that?
Oh, dearie. Of course I was. This didn't start yesterday. Others have died like this before. Beggars, street girls, orphans. But who'd have a drama concern about them? Human rubbish. It's what the guards call us.
Recall any names?
They didn't have proper ones. Baldy, curly, buns. That's what folk called them. No friends, no families. Their bodies were burned long ago.
Take care now. I gotta look around some more. Appreciate it if you didn't disturb me.
Naturally, we'll stand aside, behave. But do tell us if you find anything else here.
You got your brothers beaten for no real reason.
What do you want?
Man's footprint. The murderer's maybe. Weighed on his heel. Took a step back. Murderer fled before the guards arrived. Ran this way.
Concerned citizen sermon.
Trail ends here. Strange. Even I couldn't jump this wall.
Interesting. true, he can't jump this wall. That's not a concerned citizen, that's some kind of creature. Perhaps a greater vampire? Maybe some kind of shapeshifter?
Bio. Oh, you scared?
These gates that are marking off the sections. Let's see. Is this the other wall? Side of the wall?
You see in the dark, and you're sturdy. Make a fine goat sniffer if you're hitting some tall.
Well, I think this will probably just run us through the whole edge of the map. Alright, so he had to have jumped that wall right there. And from that wall, if we were gonna do any more investigation, it would have to be right here.
Know when you're done for.
Boring as fucking shit.
Anyways, let's talk to the coroner. I guess that's the end of this thread of investigation. I think it is the doctor. The young looking doctor. He looks too young. Far too young. That sounds like a greater vampire who is cutting out the heart and taking blood, burning out the eyes just to cover it up, perhaps? Oh no. I don't know about the eyes part. But there is something fishy about him. So we didn't look in this area yet. So let's go over here and see what we can loot. We have a good, we did win that 700 crowns. So it's not even like we are super in need of crowns, but we are. We definitely are. There's still a lot of items for sale. Maybe I shouldn't buy things as items. Maybe they will be given to me in loot things, in loot form if I don't buy them. It's an interesting thought, just hard to prove one way or the
Geralt,
other.
right? I'm glad you're here. Held off on the autopsy till you arrived.
Nice of you, especially given you didn't seem pleased about my previous visit.
Because you came unannounced and in unfortunate company. I also had Reverend Nathaniel to contend with. Our spiritual caretaker has left the city on some important matter, and I know who you are, what drives you. I'm more than happy to aid your investigation.
Not fond of Nathaniel?
Very few people are. He's cruel and capricious. He stormed in here once, grabbed a scalpel I was sterilizing over a burner, sliced my back with it to the bone, because I had forgotten to lock the storeroom. Hard to be fond of someone like that, wouldn't you agree?
Von Graz told me all about you.
Ah. Doubtless you've heard how I had the noble leader of the student protesters thrown in prison. But did you hear the protests were far from peaceful? Or did he neglect to mention it? People were dying, Witcher. Those who rejected liberty, equality, and fraternity would be found in the gutter come morning. Their throats slit from ear to ear with surgical precision. Joachim had been my favorite student, but alas, I had to do something. so I reported him. Then I left the university and found work in the morgue, where none care about my past. Whereas Joachim, oh, fate's ironies. Years later, he was appointed head of the very ward I had founded.
How old's von Graz? 50? 60?
53, I believe. Why do you ask?
You look a little young to have been his teacher.
Not surprising. For years, I've lived in the cold and dark, breathing the vapors of embalming fluids. In short, working with corpses extends one's life. Amusing, is it not?
I don't believe that for a second.
Who's the victim this time?
Joris Aquinas, a lecturer in theology at Oxenfurt Academy. Found this morning at his home on a catafalque made of his books.
Any titles in particular?
It seems all the tomes dealt with the eternal fire. Treatises critical of the faith's doctrines.
Yeah, mortal sin in Novigrad. Let's start.
Gladly. The wounds conform to the killer's modus operandi. The victim was bound and forced to drink formaldehyde. Next, the killer removed the eyes, placed burning coals in the sockets, then opened the rib cage and... What's this? A parchment. Made of human skin.
A message from the murderer. The name of his next victim. Patricia Vegelbud.
Do you know her?
Yes. Even went to her estate once with... Gotta find her, now.
Go to the Vegelbud residence now. Race, race, race.
Till next time, master.
So Patricia's Vegelbud's estate is there. We need to fast travel and hope that the fast travel doesn't damage.
Stare any harder and your eyes will pop out.
Our chances of getting there in time.
What I wouldn't give for a small jar of glamour.
The thinking customer will see right away up at the best deal. Credits. What a freak. That makes 2 million.
So we know Patricia Vegelbud worked with us to get our what was it, son away before he was arrested and killed for alchemy. Maybe somebody else knows. Let me in.
What do you want?
Need to talk to Patricia Vegelbud.
You think any bum off the street can...
Her life's in danger. Let me in or have her blood on your hands.
If you thought this up, and I'll let you in, we'll throw my arse out the door.
Always thought a guard was supposed to protect his charge, not his ass.
So be it. I'll take you to Lady Vegelbud. Just no trickery. Understand?
Yeah, no trickery except for walking through the door. The magic door.
Oh, Geralt, what a pleasant surprise.
Not pleasant at all. I gotta see your mother. Her life's in danger.
In danger? Come now. I saw Mother this morning. She seemed sad, true, but in perfect health.
No time to explain or explain.
I'm hunting a serial killer, and I've got reason to believe your mother will be his next victim.
Why, even if it's true, our gods.
He's exceptionally cruel when he kills, tortures his victims, cuts out their hearts. So let's see how she is, just in case.
I find this all very hard to believe, but you appear to be quite serious. Please, follow me.
A fire fit for Bellatane, except it's the wrong time of year.
I mentioned Mother seemed sad. Do you remember? In fact, she's in the midst of a crisis of faith. A rather serious one. We'd been to Novigrad. Mother had seen the pyres in Hierarch Square, uttered not a word on our way home. She had all the holy books, insignias, reliquaries gathered, taken outside and burnt. Then she locked herself in her room.
We need to hurry.
Oh, we've never actually been in this place. We didn't go in the house before. Be kind of probably nice to look around and loot.
Hear that? Calm and quiet. All seems to be in order.
We should go in, just to be sure.
You're relentless, aren't you? Fine. But wait here, please. Mother's certainly not in the mood for guests.
Okay, so I had to do a little bit of an edit there, where the old lady was tied to the bed, naked, or butt exposed.
There he is! Get him!
Let's see.
Come on!
Where are we looking? We're chasing the murderer, right? Where is the murderer? I've lost him.
I'll break your bones!
Did I do any of it right?
Halt! For I put a bolt between your eyes!
Listen, you got the wrong guy.
Save your trickery, taking you to the heiress.
Well, killer's already escaped. Lead the way, hero.
We got him, Lady Ingrid. Wasn't easy, but...
Lower that crossbow before you hurt yourself. This man is innocent.
Forgive me. I saw him running. Thought it was the killer fleeing.
I was chasing him, and I'd have caught him if you hadn't gotten in my way.
Out of my sight, at once! Mother! Why did he do this to her? Why?
I think it's gotta be the Eternal Flame now. It has to be.
Because she blasphemed the eternal fire, only thing that ties her to the other victims. Ingrid, I know this is a hard time for you, but usually the killer leaves a note on the body, a note indicating his next victim. May I?
Very well. But you should be on your own. I do not wish to see her in this state. I do not wish to remember her like that. And let her be the last victim. Please.
Okay, so I had to do another little bit of editing there where he looked for the note of who the next victim is going to be. It's going to be apparently Sweet Nettie at Crippled Kate's. So off we go. Chase. Could I have really caught him? I don't think so. I think that they specifically had it set so that he was gonna get away that time. But I'm gonna do my best so this murderer doesn't get away next time. So where's Crippled Kate's? Just gonna go to this location. We haven't fast traveled to that. And then I'm still not sure if this really is an event of they're killing people that blaspheme the eternal fire. I really don't buy into it completely.
Ah,
This the place?
Greetings, Witcher. It's nearby. Ready?
What? Well, what is this even storyline about?
Need a minute.
Very well, but hurry, please.
I don't even know what that was about. We'll go back and deal with him later.
It's a material world.
Was that the beginning of the assassination plot? Or some other quest that I can't do right now? Because I'm not leveled enough. Oh, I could do them. Let's see. So it's in one of these buildings.
Sweet Nettie, where is she?
Upstairs. But she's with a very important client. Do not disturb them.
You mean me to grab another lass to join us?
Am I gonna have to edit some more? Very possibly.
What with the state you
Let's
two
just
are
keep
in.
running.
I'd give you a discount for heroic deeds, but...
I'll smash your face!
Like what you see.
Oh!
Play with sweet Nettie, render her not so sweet, but I shall see to you first.
What, no foreplay? No formaldehyde? Coals in my eye sockets?
What the fuck are you on about?
Murder. You killed Fabian Meyer, Patricia Vegelbud, and many others.
Bollocks. You're mistaken, vagrant.
Found a message on Patricia's body. Led me here to crippled Kate's. To sweet Nettie. If you didn't leave it, who did?
I don't know, but I see we must talk. Calmly.
Who knew you'd be here?
Strangely enough, I don't announce these outings far and wide. There's but one man who... That's impossible. He treats even corpses with kid gloves.
The coroner. Said you were busy, that you wouldn't visit the morgue. Gotta go after him.
Go. But to Warehouse 12 at the docks. He's there this time of day procuring supplies. Formaldehyde. I shall stay here. I've unfinished business with sweet Nettie. After all, I paid in advance.
Okay, so that was more editing I needed to do. We came across the priest in charge of the morgue, and he was torturing a topless lady, and I used my delusion magic to convince him to untie her and let her go and never come back. Mostly for the experience. I really kind of wanted to kill him. What is this?
Mutant. Let's do this quick.
Watch where you're walking.
Maybe.
Yeah. I want him alive.
He got killed. Man. Key quest item. So I don't know what that key goes to or what it does. It's like some way upstairs. No, that whole area is blocked off.
It's everywhere.
A warrant. Let's read that. and the warrant. Wanted 3 bandits in possession of magic contraband. So, Novigrad Closed City is a new. Let's see. Racing horse blinders. I never put those on. Not that it really matters. Journeyman's weapon repair, master, amateur. Let's see, master weapon repair. There we go. Cardinal sins, or I can see Novigrad Closed City and find 3 more keys. We'll do that later. Let's continue. We are trying to find the morgue technician, who I suspected, but we were trying our best to not end up killed. What kind of creature pours acid? He's gotta be a greater vampire or something. He's gotta be some kind of weird ritualistic monster. He's drinking the blood, but he's making it look like some other things. One door doesn't work, the other does.
Run out of formaldehyde.
I underestimated you. You almost caught me in flagrante delicto. Now you've seen through my bluff with Nathaniel. Although, you've not divined all, I see. Had you, you would have drawn your silver sword.
Who, what are you?
A vampire. Higher, of course.
Got a reason for killing? A reason to torture?
I thought you'd figure that out as well. The symbolism's rather obvious. Coals for those who are blind to the fire. The egg of a salamander born of fire to replace their cold, doubting hearts. Fire down the throat that...
Yeah, symbolism's clear. What's not is why a vampire would kill in the name of the eternal fire.
Should be equally obvious. I concur with the Church's diagnosis. Novigrad is a fallen city. Its population amnesiacs to the very concepts of decency and morality. So I decided to remind them, in a manner they'd be certain to notice.
Tortured logic.
Yet logic, nonetheless. I'm glad you perceived that, at least. Fight fire with fire, as they say. Give a thought to my victims. A lecherous woodcarver who'd spend his last copper on whores. An old countess who defiled symbols of the faith. A Trebirates for whom nothing was sacred, nothing above ridicule. They did not deserve to live. But their deaths could be a lesson to others. Awaken them, scare them onto the correct path, the path to the fire, to cleansing, to salvation. For you, I'm afraid it's too late. You are a man of little faith. I sense this.
But I'm pretty good with a sword.
Pretty good. Might remember I got it.
Let's see. Level 20. 500 experience points, which probably got me to level 20. And assassin's boots and a new item. And a new bestiary. Now, are we done with the quest, Cardinal Sins? Talk to Dandelion. Interesting. Concerned Citizen Sermon. Is there another victim in this? No, that's a door outside. That's a door outside. How many doors do you need outside? Why am I really complaining about that when we've run into instances where we've had the exact opposite problem? I'd much rather a warehouse have a door on every angle, every 5 feet. No way you could miss it. Let's see. Trying to see if he has another victim somewhere. I knew it was him pretty early on. Unfortunately, the game did not allow me to draw my sword and kill the man. Alright. So, it's a bit of strangeness that there are so many doors. And then the top floor is locked. So is there a way up? To get up there. Search for a few more items, perhaps. And I still keep expecting these things to fall at some point. But unless there's some trick you can do with the crossbow, I don't know. So, let's see. This quest wants us to run back all the way that way. And then the other secondary quest we had was this one, which wants us to run a slightly shorter distance. So let's continue on that path. Fast travel, and then let's see. I think this will work.
You're on everyone's terms, you know.
That mission was really good, though. There's undeniability there. That was a really good mission. It had a lot of different red herrings and such. A lot of red herrings, a lot of different directions you could have been leaning and suspecting. Of course, the most obvious point was that he was just too young looking. Concerned citizens note just being laid everywhere.
A fine kettle of fish. Ah!
What are we doing? Not climbing that ladder for sure. I think in outside the house, perhaps. These poor people getting robbed. A bathtub and a ladder. For all those times you need to climb and wash your feet. Superior cursed oil. I'm still looking. Let's see. There's an obvious scale. Well, I wouldn't say it's actually that obvious. There is a scale difference. The building is considerably bigger when you're inside of it than what it is when you're outside of it. And that is definitely what you want. Your Doctor Who TARDIS effect. So, like, walking from this point to that point on the outside. You walk, I'd say about 75%. Alright, let's see. We've been all in the house.
A fine kettle of fish.
Nothing down here. Find the other partners mentioned in the note. Do we have to read the warrant? Let's see. Warrant. Hiding near the Crooked House. Last seen. Near the Crooked House. There's a ton of crooked houses. Did we kill him?
You look familiar.
Is he in this place? I'm at the very edge. Would they do this to me? Well. I tell you, if it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not, you can't figure out how to get. How to get in a place, it's, you can't find the guy. Let's see. You see these underground things. Is there a way underground?
Well, well. Pauper with a library. Imagine that.
Vile times when beggars could put letters together. Foul their mind. I'd advise you not to try my patience.
The guards don't even, the witch hunters don't even want to help. Is this an underground type thing?
Come on.
Well, I mean... if it was, it would be right here. Yeah, that's not showing. We're gonna have to give up. More dead people. Probably at the hands of the guards. And we got a couple of items we need to drop. So we have hit our max, no more picking up items. I want to loot so bad too. Oh, come on. Come on, game, come on. You would think it would be just this guy. That it absolutely has to be just that guy. That there can't possibly be anybody else. I mean, this is Triss's house. We can go back here. Nope. Come on, game. Find the other partners and the key. Alright.
Clear as the eternal fire.
Is he hidden in here?
My wife won't believe me when I tell her.
Is he in here? Finally!
Long dead. Damn, Hunter's got here first.
Now I need to loot like crazy, even though it will get me overburdened again. So I can find the key. about this torch. Maybe that was just blood stains on it. Locked key required. Interesting.
Wonder what this is.
Locked key required. Let's read that note. At least pretend like we read the note. Game has only really made us suffer once by not actually reading, and that was in the play. But, and yes, I'm sure they want me to read everything. I'm sure they have like 5
My wife won't believe me.
massive novels worth of writing in this. In particular, since these games are based on novels. But man, would that be boring for YouTube? Man, would it be boring for you? If you want to read this, I'd recommend you read everything. I'd recommend you play the game yourself. I'd really like to know, if you're watching this and you've already played the game, I'd really like to know where things diverted and how things went different for you than it did for me.
We're not in no one's way. Not bothering yourself.
You're bothering me.
Because I highly imagine that things are gonna already have diverted several ways.
Black ones with aliens. As long as they pay. No discounts, no pay.
This way towards the bridge. Through this bridge. And we can start searching for this last guy.
Witcher, sir! Help a woman in need!
Help a
Witcher,
woman in
sir!
need.
Help a woman in need!
Alright.
What's he doing here?
Witcher, sir! Help!
What's the problem?
My house. Something haunts it. It howls, rattles chains, shatters plates. I fear merely being there. Will you see what sort of phantom this is? I'll spare no amount of gold.
Sure. This
Sounds
is
like
a
a
trap,
weight
but
or a puff bow. Fine, I'll tend to it.
Thank you ever so much. Come with me. I will show you the way.
oh, this is part of the same quest. Interesting. Come on, speed up, lady, speed up.
Sick. Sick of it all.
Get him from both sides!
Not a worthy companion. Alive! Take him alive!
Don't enjoy being tricked.
Tricked? I only said my house was haunted. I could not know it was hunters.
Mm-hmm. Except the hunters knew exactly who they were waiting for. Reeks of a trap to me.
Very well. Perhaps I've not been completely candid. Especially as I've no gold for the reward either. Which does not mean you shall walk away empty-handed. Here, a key to a treasure. There are 3 in all. Follow the hunters to find the other 2. I must flee now.
Well... that was not nice, but it was pretty obvious. So was that the 3rd thief? Can we go up? Nope. Use the keys to open the safe. Let's adjust our situation here. 1 point better than what I have now. I will keep that sword, but I need to first master armor repair, that one, and then let's get rid of some heavy things, like that, and that. There we go. I need to give that sword back to what's her name and not sell it. The blunt sword.
Another freak.
And off we run. As soon as we finish this quest, we will be done for this episode. See what this treasure was and if it was really worth all this work and more than 3 people dying over it. You know, I've been playing The Witcher very moralistically so far, at least in my decisions, and then very unmoralistically as to the just massive number of people I've killed. It would be really nice that if they could think of a whole bunch of new games where you don't end up turning into a spree killer throughout the whole game. Just fight, kill. Even a puzzle game like Portal, you end up killing somebody. Spoiler alert. But then, I guess that's my problem with TV too. It's my problem with TV and books and all forms of media combined. Oh, it does open this wall when it's ignited. Didn't even see that first time. So, what is that? Like, a small amount of crowns, a formula, some still ingots, some glowing ore. I don't even think that was really that much. So if I ignite this again, does it close? Nope. It just opens on the first ignite. Another quest done. Let's see. So we have Cardinal Sins to finish next time, and I think that's pretty much all we can do, unless Cardinal Sins decides it wants to give us even more missions, which it very well might. I don't know, we might be at a good point to go try and find these parts now. If it's suggested level 17 and we're at level 20 now, we might be good there. And it wouldn't really kill us to do the Lady in White now. So that gives us a couple more quests to seek out. So let's, next episode, finish Cardinal Sins, see if that goes anywhere. But in the meantime, I'm going to find some shops, work my way to shops, and sell off some items and such. So that's what I'll be doing. But that's it. Just a little bit of upgrading, selling, clearing out. That's it for this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can do that by clicking on my name, Rydo, On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click that and you make a donation. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media site, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.